Drew, D-R-E-W, Phillips, Phillips.
Drew, tell us what you saw and what you did.
Well, what I saw was a guy shooting into the crowd. And what I did was I jumped the fence and I saw a kid that got hit. So I picked him up and I carried him, out of harm's way. And a lot of my other friends did the same thing. But that's what happened for the most part.
What you say, kid? A young person, or how old?
Under 30 for sure, like mid-20s.
Okay.
And he had been hit in the abdomen somewhere. And he looked at me and says, "Hey, man, I'm hit." And I just reacted. I just picked him up and I carried him.
We heard that the suspect didn't even stand up. He just sat in the chair the whole time and was just firing off.
Yeah, he did it from the seating position.
How much yelling and screaming?
A lot.
It's a horrible thing to see.
Yeah.
What does go through your mind in a situation like that?
First of all, when you hear the sounds of gunshots at a pool party for one of my closest friends' birthday, I immediately thought that there were fireworks and firecrackers. And so, because there was a first burst, and then 10 seconds went by, and then more rounds, more sounds. So then I automatically zoomed in on where the noise was coming from. Then that's when I realized, oh, someone's actually shooting a gun at people. So, for the most part, that's when all the scrambling started and jumped the fence. And like I said, there was a young man there just laying there, clutching his, and he just says, "Drew, I'm hit." And I said, "Oh, well, come here," and I picked him up, and I just carried him, around the corner, down the block, really.
You jumped the fence of the pool area?
Yes.
Okay.
Was the shooter somebody that was at the party or that anybody knew?
No one knew him, but one of my friends who actually got hit, multiple times, saw him sitting there, so he went over and offered him, food, drink, whatever. He said, "Hey, introduce myself. It's my party. You're welcome to hang out. Can I get you something?" Yeah.
How long before the shooting did that happen?
Less than 10 minutes. Yeah.
Was there any
No
altercation?
warning. No exchange of words. No dialogue. Nothing.
So this guy came to the pool with a gun because he didn't get up and leave and come back.
Apparently he did that, because he comes in and just sits down and hangs out at the table, and then someone says, "Hey, y'all know dude over there?" He's like, "No, don't know." Okay, well, and so then my friend, who got hit multiple times, actually goes over. It was his party. He says, "Hey, how are you? Sorry if it was noisy. Can I get you anything?" He says, and I think he was like, "No, thank you." Based on the body language, because I kind of saw the whole exchange, but that was it though. And maybe 6 or 7 minutes later, it's pow, 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 just out of nowhere.
And how many gunshots did you hear?
30. And they were in bursts too, maybe 5-round bursts.
He never got up. He sat there the whole time.
Right. There was no indication that he, was there to do, evil.
Someone mentioned that he was drinking a beer while doing this.
Can't confirm that. I just can't.
You mentioned there was a moment you realized this wasn't fireworks, it was gunfire.
Correct.
What goes through your mind in that situation?
Escape. Escape. So, I wanted to get distance between myself and the, shooter. Because once I looked, he was literally sitting like this, because I looked over my left shoulder and I saw him shooting. So, and the fence was ahead of me, because my back was actually to him. Because I had just gotten there maybe 15 minutes prior, so I was basically greeting everyone. And I saw that, and I ran, and I just jumped the fence. And no sooner than I did that, there was a kid there who I just met maybe 2 minutes prior, and he was just laying there. And just the look in his eyes, just sheer terror. He says, "Drew, I'm hit. And I remember I just threw my phone down, and I just picked him up, and I just carried him. I basically ran as fast as I could with him in my arms around the corner, and I just laid him down. And I saw other few people running too, and I just says, "Hey, just get behind something and lay down. Just lay down." That's all I kept telling everyone. Just get behind something and lay down. And people, aside from the people that were unfortunately hit, everyone else kind of reacted in a way that I would certainly admire.
Drew, how soon before the first police officers arrived?
maybe 15 minutes.
15?
Yeah, roughly.
1-5?
Oh yeah, 15 for sure. You know.
He didn't get up and move?
Huh?
He didn't get up and move?
No.
He just sat there?
Well, the vision to him was obscure, so obstructed. So I had my other friend Thomas, who actually saw him, and I says, "Thomas, is he still over there?" And Thomas goes, "Yeah," because Thomas is about 100 yards from me. And I said, "Well, keep eyes on him, Thomas." And Thomas was kind of like looking, peeking, and getting behind something, just peeking, and he just can't, you know, he's still over there. Because I was basically in the middle of that field, tending to him, tending to the kid who got shot.
So the gunman was still shooting when you were tending to somebody,
Yes.
but you weren't in his eyesight.
No,
Eye line.
I ran.
Okay.
Yeah, I ran around his.
Are you ex-military?
I am
Which service?
Navy.
Yeah, thanks for
Best
service.
branch.
Thanks.
in
And what's
the
your
world.
name, sir?
Drew Phillips.
Will you spell it?
Drew Phillips with
Just
2
like
L's.
we would think. Okay.
Yep.
What'd you do in the
so
Navy,
much.
Drew?
I was a torpedo man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Phillips, when you got to the party, because you said that you got there like 15 minutes before it happened, was this dude already there?
I think he got there right around when I got there.
And he didn't know anybody. And it was like your friend. Like,
No
dude, you
one
want some-
recognized him. We don't know if he didn't know any of us, but no one recognized him. So my friend, who we were having a party for, went over, introduced himself, and I believe he apologized if we were making a lot of noise, and then offered him, you know, to basically partake. And the guy basically declined, and the next thing I know, chaos.
You stepped away when the shooting started.
Yeah, I stepped further away.
I mean,
Because
before
when
this
you walk into the pool area, to the left, from that far side, is where the chairs were. So I was probably 20 yards to the right, toward the end of the pool, maybe 10, 15 feet from the fence.
Was there a grandmother and children between you and that party?
No,
at that
they
point?
were to the left.
Okay, so
They were on the other side of the pool.
was he across the pool or was he?
He was at the end of the pool.
So it was like he was at one end of the pool, and then short-wise, the party was at the other end of the pool.
Correct.
Then on
No,
the narrow,
long-wise.
Okay.
The pool is probably 40 by 20, roughly. So he was long-wise. He was at the far end of the pool in the corner at the table.
Do you know how your friends that got hit are doing?
From what I understand, they're critical and stable condition. From what has been told to me.
Was it a rifle or a pistol? You were in the Navy. What did it look like to you?
Pistol.
Was he saying anything while he was shooting, or was there anything to give away maybe a motive for this?
No. Nothing.
He was silent the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Was he targeting, or did he look like he was just spraying bullets?
It looked like he opened fire and then started, picking people off. Because when I looked, and I realized I'm a pretty big target, because when I looked, he was firing past me. So I just ran and jumped, because there were people who were hit multiple times, and it wasn't like he was doing all of his, firing in, 3 to 5 round bursts. He was just, just letting them off.
From what you could tell, the victims, were they all people who were present at the party,
Yes.
party goers? So they were all relatively young 20s?
Yes.
Did you try and speak to the shooter?
No. Did not try to speak to him.
My understanding is the birthday boy was shot.
He's the one who was hit the most.
Was he
3
the one
or
that
4
you...
times.
How old is he? Or
Good question. He's probably early 30s.
Did he... 30 shots? Did he reload?
Oh yeah, he had to. He had to.
Did you see that, or did you hear like pauses in the shooting?
You can certainly hear pauses in the shooting.
Was it a pistol? Like it wasn't a revolver. It was a
Yes,
gun with the clips.
semi-automatic. Yeah,
Semi-automatic.
I'm a 45 or 9mm, one of the two.
But you're a Navy guy, so you are familiar with weapons. So this was a semi-automatic.
Yes.
Sir, can I get your first and last name?
Drew
Drew
Phillips.
Phillips?